Hi, Ali. I'm just putting some information out there, Ali. You know how it is already. I hope to, Ali, are you going to check in on the Zoom? You should let me know so I can send you the link because from tomorrow night for the most of the month, I won't be on our Instagram. So I don't want to miss you. So I want you to make sure you do that so that we have that information going. So make sure you send me I will have to send you a text and give you the information, or send me an email address, Ali, so I can send that to you so that you can be with us on that trip starting tomorrow night. It's going to be marvelous. I can't wait for you to be there. I want you to be. I think even if you're not going to understand everything and you don't have the book, it doesn't matter. Come in, you learn something. And that's what I want you to do. So let's see what you can do with this. So get cracking and see how much you can get from this. It should be lots of fun. I'm looking forward to that. So I hope you got your hair ready. So I hope you're going to be joining us. So let's see. So, hello, I'm Debbie. How are you? I like Yoko didn't know who you were this morning. This is me, Debbie. I want to say it is Debbie. And so we are so excited tonight. And so I hope you are also. Let me see what I'm doing to this. This looks a little cloudy. Maybe it's just a little cloudy because it's cloudy outside. Maybe I need to put the lights on. And then let's see what we're doing. Sometimes we have too much light on. Hello, Christina. Christina, this is the eve of the big adventure. I am so excited for all of us. I hope everybody is ready to enjoy the new adventure we're going on. Oh. So, let us see how it all goes, guys. So, here we go. We have a little bit more light. And so, here I am. I'm right back here. Hi, Carolina. Hi, everybody. It is so wonderful to have you guys here tonight. So tonight is important. Tonight is getting ready for tomorrow night. Tomorrow at 7, we're starting the journey. Debbie, I don't know if you want to you should join the Zoom call tomorrow night. So you have to tell me so I can send you the link. And Ali, that goes for you. Because I think you guys should come just for curiosity's sake. You should look at it, Debbie. There's all kinds of little tricks that we are going to be showing off. I know I'm going to be doing it. It's a lot. It's 60 minutes, 45 minutes of doing stuff, and then 10, 15 minutes of answering questions that you will put in the chat, any questions you have. And I think that will be amazing. So that's one of the things I want everybody to participate in, and that's why I'm bringing it in like this. So I am so excited. There's quite a few people, not 100, but we have room for 100 because that's what they give you. But I know Christina is going to be there. Carolina is working, so she might not. But the point is, after it's done, I'm going to put it on Instagram. But it will be nice to interact with everybody about what we're doing. Hi, Kasha. So that would be really nice. Hi, Tiggy. Thanks for joining. It's going to be amazing for us to get together tomorrow night. I know it's early and you might be at work, but you didn't say whether you were going to join the financial independence course, seminar. It's starting tomorrow night. So I won't be on IG. I will be on Zoom. If you're interested, DM me so I can send you the connection so you can join. It's 7 o'clock and we're starting it. It's going to be great because we'll have slides, you'll have a presentation. I'll take you through the process of creating a financial plan. I'll take you through the process of watching your bills, your different types of savings you can create, how you manage a credit card, how you manage a line of credit. Making the financial plan is going to be the heavy part, because that is where you will learn how to control debt and manage debt, and how you will build a legacy, a savings, how you will be able to own your own home. Or those of you like that have kids, the information you get, you can pass it on to them. And that is what makes the chain continue for them to pick up and go ahead. Because we need to make sure that everybody understands what money is about. As the world is opening up, things are going to change. And I'm saying is, people are thinking, well, there won't be jobs. Yes, there will be jobs, because what they're going to do, as you know, they'll have more inventions. Human beings, when they're pushed against the wall, they come out roaring. And it will be a roaring experience right now for all of us, because in a year or so, when it's all over, a year or two after that, things will change and things will be booming. Where are you going to be? Are you going to be ready to catch the apple as it's falling from the tree? Or are you going to say, where is the tree? I'm not ready. I don't have my bag. I cannot pick the tree. I have no apples. So I'm drinking a little water. So this is what it is. I am excited. I am truly excited. I'm sure there's going to be hiccups and hold-ups and heart attacks and all of that when you're doing this, because this is the first time I am going to do a big-time Zoom. I've done it when Damien's book came out. I did it with my grandson and my friends' children. I did half an hour with them. It's young boys. They were 10 and 11, so I would not get them to go on for an hour, but they did go 45 minutes because the discussion was good about the book. They had to read the book and talk about it. So that was my Zoom thing. So this is a brand new experience for me. And so I'm hoping it flies. I'm hoping it works. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited. Most of all, I'm looking forward to encouraging you to try something different. We won't be doing things the regular way, that how finances are going to be managed. We're going to do it how big corporation does it, which is very, very simple. They don't do a big show thing. Big corporation, hi Flavia, do not be a big thing. They do things that are very simple but very smart. That's why they stay in business. The most important thing they do is that they know what, in January, they already know what they're going to make in December of that year. So that's the kind of thinking I want to put in your mind. I want to put the type of thinking in your mind that it's always possible. Buying that house if that's what you want, or just paying the rent you want, then going on a couple vacations a year, 3 vacations a year, and you don't care about that. If that's all you want to do is rent and go on vacations, then if you're not doing that now, you have to ask yourself, well, what am I not doing? So why am I not doing that? I know some people, there's no jobs and all of that, but you have to get ready. It's like getting ready for a race. The race is not going to be until at the end of the year, but you have to get ready for the race. You cannot get up Monday morning and practice to get into the race on Tuesday morning. You won't make it past the finish line. So these are the types of things I'm talking about. Hi, Yoko. So this is why I am doing this particular program, is to get you ready for the success that is coming to you. Getting ready for that amazing, successful thing that is going to get to you. And if you're not prepared, if your mind isn't set, what you want, the question you will be hearing all the time is what it is you want financially. What it is you desire to have financially. Where do you want to be next year at this time? Where you want to be, this is June. Where do you want to be in 6 months? And that is magical, because in 6 months makes a big difference. It's 6 months. Where do you want to be in 6 months? And it's not to say I'm going to disappear once we do this. I am always going to be available. But the point of it is that you have 22 hours. You know this thing you can create. Think if you had to study. I know what it is to study for 365 hours a year. And the only thing you can get short of that is distinction. That's all you're going to get. So if you put that type of time into your business and you follow the plan, your home, you hear me say business, I don't mean your business. I mean you have to run your personal finances like a business run theirs. And if you are an entrepreneur and you have a business, then you have 2 of them to do. It's marvelous. It's really amazing to come back and to turn the page. It's like you open the book, and in the front cover of the book, you have your name. And then the first page is all the, and few pages is all the, how you are right now, how your finances are right now, how your, and how everything is right now. And then 6 months later, you're looking at it and you're going, no, how, I can't believe. You go back, because it's only looking back at that first page, you will realize, holy, how I did that, how did I fix that? And then can you imagine taking that book 3 years from now and looking at that book 3 years from now and seeing the goals and aspirations and your desires fulfilled? That's what it is. It's not a joke, this thing I'm taking you on. It's something that I practice myself. It's something that I have done for years myself. I don't live my life without a financial plan. I do not live my life without a financial plan. I have a financial plan. You know, so what you have to look at is to see what a financial plan would do for you. It is one of the marvelous things. I asked you guys a question. I'm not going to ask you the answer tonight. It was on the requirements, the first DM and email I sent. I sent a question and I said, do you know what is missing? And some of you have answered. I will give you the answer tomorrow night at this time. I don't think, this is like Christmas morning to me. Oh, so I'm awake at 4:30 a.m. today. Pavle, tell us about your story. Do you want to come on and just tell us why you were so awake at 4:30 a.m. today? Because India is 9.5 hours ahead of us. Okay, are you in India? No. So okay, so you thought you were in India. Anyway, you're going to tell us and I'll talk about it. So we have a list of 15 things on there, right? But by the time you leave this world of financial independence seminar, it's a world unto its own. By the time you do this, you will be so amazed at your life, at your financial life. You won't have to worry. The money comes in and it's like magic. It just goes, it's like you have this circle, which is your main checking account. And the money hits that checking account Thursday, Friday, and by Monday morning, what is left in that checking account is the only cash that you need for yourself. Everybody and everything has been paid. And that's what it is. And you don't have to worry about it because you set it up. So there are ways to set it up. You cannot live that life like this. You have to follow a plan, and that's what we're going to do. And one of the things I want you to know is that once you come on the program, you have to be ready to absorb the information. Ask questions. If you don't understand something, ask questions. You will have the only time you will have any homework to do will be on Friday night. It will be given for Saturday and Sunday because there's no classes on Saturday and Sunday. And by the way, talking about Saturday and Sunday, when I did the invitation, it says recur every day. It didn't have recur every weekday. At least I didn't say it. So it shows Saturday and Sunday, but you know we don't have classes Saturday and Sunday, so ignore that. So it's only Monday to Friday. So that means on Friday, if there is something you have to do to get better at it, I will remind you to redo this or look at this. And that's what I want you to understand. It's not going to be you just have nothing to do. I want you to spend some time and I want you to dream. And I don't want you to dream small. I want you to dream the impossible dream. It's only the impossible dream that becomes possible. The dream that is so big that when you think of it, it shatters every nerve and sinew in you. So this is a new life, and there isn't anything that is not attainable. Everything is attainable if you set your goals on it. If you set your stern and if you set your sails to catch the wind that is blowing, you will go. So this is an opportunity that, as I said this morning, I follow my intuition. And my intuition just said, why not do this? Because this is the one thing in life I cannot stop talking about, is about finances, is about money. The only reason is that I love the freedom that it gives you. I love, I love the freedom of doing what you want with it without having to think you can't. Because as I told you, when I started my married life, I started with knowing there are certain things I couldn't do. Yet I knew I came from a family where I could do it all. But it wasn't my money, it was my parents' money. So once I set on this foot in this land here, I was on my own. I had to pick up the slack. And fortunately, my husband was so not involved with money, he didn't understand it. He thinks, I used to say that my husband's pocket is a sieve. You give him money and it just runs through. It's like a hole. So I learned that very quickly in the marriage, and I knew I had to step up if I wanted a better life. And it was great that reluctantly, and leaving his ego at the door, he said, you know what, Tess, just do it. Do it. And then as we got older, I remember sitting in the garden, and we were sitting together. I don't know what with conversation. We spent a lot of time just sitting together in the garden. And something he said to me, and I said to him, you don't have to worry, we're okay, we're more than okay. I said, you worked very hard, and you worked very diligent, and you let me manage the money. And that is why we are able to have those freedoms to do all the things we do. And he looked at me, you know what, Tess? It's all you. I did make the money, but if I had to keep it, we wouldn't have had anything. He said, it's all you. He said, sometimes when I think of it, it just frightens me. But it doesn't seem to frighten you. He said, money doesn't frighten you. Working for money doesn't frighten you. Dealing with money doesn't frighten you. He said, going in a bank just gets me angry. So he would never go to the bank, yet I worked in a bank. So you can imagine, there was no reason for him to do anything because Tess would do it all, right? And he sat in the garden and he said, just, I look at the efforts you put in the garden. He said to me once, when you're putting that plant in the ground, you're daring that plant that if you don't grow, I'm going to kill you. He said the determination of the way you put that plant in the ground is just, I'm standing watching you, or sitting watching you, and I'm scary. And you know what he said to me? He said to me, if I die, I think you would just take me, and you could eat. You cook me, you'd cook my body, take my bones, grind it up, and put it in the garden. You wouldn't waste anything. I just looked at him, what do you think, I'm a cannibal? He said, no, you don't waste anything. That's what he said to me. He said, the things that you would do, I know, I came from a family, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't even take the time to invest in what you do with vegetables, with fruits and stuff. He said, you don't waste. And that is why we are where we are today. So that's what I want each and every one of you to experience from your spouses. That's why I'm offering you that course for free. It's a nice feeling. You cannot show, and you have to say, but you have to say you helped too. I had to tell him that because he did, and I didn't want him to forget that. So that story I just told you that's the story I want you to tell your children. We started a journey, and I learned how to manage money. I took that information home. I sat with your mother or your father, and we talked about it. And this is why today we're able to do the things we're doing, and we are not expecting you to support us. We're not expecting you to take care of us because we learned how to manage money from a woman years and years before you were born, years and years ago. And today, this is why we are where you are. This is what I want you to have. I want you to be me. No. To start the journey and be me, because I knew what money is, and I knew how you have to work for it, and I knew the insatiable appetite to have it. But in a new country, with a new husband, is like I left my father's house and I came into a house. There was nothing in between. I didn't live on my own. As a matter of fact, this is the first time in my life I'm living alone. So I grew up in a huge family, hundreds and millions of people. Got married, in this country with my husband. I was here already, went home to get married, come back for the one here, and there I am. And I have to start from scratch. All I can save is $1.75. But I was determined because I knew if you don't save, you're not going to get there. If you look at $1.75, people do. One of my brothers, he told me that his wife told him, you know, Milton, little saving is no savings. That's what she told him. And he told me that. And I said, what did you say? He said, I just started laughing and I walked away. He said, I cannot fix that. Can I fix that? I said, no, I guess not. And then fast forward, Hurricane Maria hit the island. Her mother lives there. And guess what he had to do? It wasn't a little saving anymore, was it? It was a big this time. Because he said to me, I had to take that money that I started by saving $20 every week. He said it wasn't $20 5 years later. And the amount wasn't $20, but when Maria hit the island and her mother's roof on the house went, and the insurance was only covering so much and it was so much more, I gave her that money. And he said, I was tempted to tell her something, but I remember what you say, revenge is not yours. And I said to him, I'm glad you didn't say anything to her. And he never told her anything. And then months later, she said to him, Milton, I have to apologize to you. When you were saving $20 a week, when we were first into the saving thing, and I told you, saving a little bit of money is no savings. So she apologized. And he called me to let me know. And I said, just said, it's okay. Every one of us has to learn. But I have the opposite of that. Because, hi Kathleen, I have people, as I told you guys, who save $1,000. They're so proud, $500, $400, $300, and they put in the bank. And then 2 weeks later, they come to visit me and I say, how much money did you have? How is the savings going? Oh, well, I only have $20 or $10. I said, well, then you should have just saved 10. But save it all the time, don't stop. That is the idea. So when you start that journey, don't be afraid when you're doing this seminar with me that I ask you to start the saving. And at the end of it, I said it doesn't have to be a $40 saving. Because right now, in your life, at the stage you're at, it's not going to be feasible to go more than this. And the person sitting next to you on this Zoom call, when they look at this and they do all the numbers and they write, they're going to say they can save 50. I am not going to tell you to say what you're going to say. I don't want to know. I won't be questioning you, but I will drive you to look at it and to see where you are. And you will notice that everybody, if you were to talk about it, you can't, will have a different savings amount. It's not going to be 10% of anything. It's not going to be 15. It's going to be what you can put aside and start now. But then the trick is, how are you going to make it grow? What are you going to throw at it? What do you have you can throw at it? Do you have an extra 10 over here? Do you have an extra 5 coming from there? That's the trick. A raise is not a raise if you leave it in your checking account. It becomes part of a sieve system. You know what we used to call, when at the bank, when we worked just for fun, we would call our staff account an automatic transfer service. Because as soon as the money comes in, it would be transferred out. Because that's how we planned it. Your money come in and it goes where it's supposed to go. Savings, Rrsp, vacation, house buying, car payment, car account if you don't have one, new wardrobe, whatever. But money sitting in a savings account is equal to those of you who know what Dundas Square is, to take a bag of feathers, a huge bag of feathers, drag it to Dundas Square, open it, and come back tomorrow morning to find it. That is what your checking account is. Everything that goes in a checking account disappears like something is pulling it from the bottom. So if you went back to Dundas Square hoping to collect 10,000 feathers, you would get maybe 6,000, 5,000, maybe less, because the wind would take it away. Your checking account is a wind. You put money in there and it disappears. Your debit card is the driver of that wind. Because you don't see what you're doing. So I'm going to teach you how to make your debit card be your best friend. Your debit card is something you have to know. How much money do you really have for Tim Horton coffee? Do you have a plan for that? Do you have, do you have a plan for that thing? No, you don't, but you say to Tim Horton, like my granddaughter, no, when she sees McDonald's, she calls it fries. Because her parents will take her there to get fries. She calls it fries. So that's what you see Tim Horton. I can tell you stories about people with Tim Horton that used to surprise me. I would get off at Kiel and the 401, going up to Jane and Finch, and I would see people making some left turns to get into that Tim Horton parking lot. It's like they were on drugs. And I said one day to my husband, I said, you drink that coffee, is it drugged? Because people make some crazy turns to get into a parking lot to buy a Tim Horton. They just cannot stop. So where is your money for that? Do you have a plan for that? No, you don't. But you just use the money, debit through the window, coffee, it's hot, it spills on you, and away you go, and you don't know where the money came from. Then you're shocked. The money came from rent. The money came from groceries. The money came from the one that suffers the most. You guys are going to answer that question tomorrow. What is it that suffers the most? It's a good idea to have both TFSA and Rrsp, or should we choose only one? No. Okay. A few years ago, we had a prime minister named Harper. And in all his wisdom, he was the coldest fish you ever had. The man took his children to school once, and he actually shook his son's hand going to kindergarten. That was how cold he was. So anyway, he decided we have what we call an old age security, which when you're 65, if you don't make a lot of money, they give it to you, no matter who you are. But they take it back from you. So I decided, you know what, you guys don't give me this money because it's just a damn headache. Keep your money, because at the end of the year I have to give it back, so it makes no sense. So they said, okay. So that is a gift to Canadians by the government of Canada. It's about $600 and something every month. So if you always worked on minimum wage and you have your Canada pension plan is low, and you work, for example, at a company that had no pension, this comes in very handy. So what it does, it takes you above the poverty line, and then the government in Canada still went further, and they give you a guaranteed income supplement, which takes you above the poverty line. So you're okay. You're not going to have grapes and wine and cheese and caviar and go out to dinner every night and go on a vacation, but you would not be begging. That's the idea. So Harper, in his wisdom, you had to be 65 to get it. That was the rule. He went in, and it's like Pandora's box. He opened it. He cranked it open. And what he did when he opened it, he said, anybody born after 1957 will not receive their Canada pension until they're 67 instead of 65. So it takes you 2 years longer. So that person on that small amount of money would have to wait 2 years. They would have to be 67 years old now. And that's the conservative government. They always look for their rich friends. That's how it is, everywhere. So could you afford that? No. So then the Liberals got in, and they had, he's dead, but he was the finance minister, Flaherty, something like that. And he created the tax-free savings account. So the tax-free savings account started in 2009. And I always seem to have a sense about things like that. And everybody was dancing in the bank, tax-free savings account, $5,500 every year you can put in that account. And no matter how many millions of dollars you make, it's all yours. That is true. All of that remains true. So he created that because what I believe is that by the time you turn, that you're sitting in your early 30s or wherever you are, become 65, that old age pension will no longer be in business. But you can do the math. Take $5,500 times 30 years. Give yourself a 4% compound interest on that. You will find out there's going to be over $300,000 if you do that every year from now. Even if you are in your 50s and you start this and you do it every year, you put the full amount in, you will still have a lot of money. So because you'll have this big money sitting there and the government is keeping track for you, they're telling you you should put more money in. They encourage you to save, which is good for them and good for you. But that $600, you will not, they'll say you don't need it because you have $400,000 saved in there. If you took that money, let's say you had done it and you bought, for example, bank stocks 2 years ago, 18 months, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, they were trading at $57. Today they're trading at $88, $92. Look at the difference. So if your money was sitting in bank stocks, look at where you would be today. So that's why they will take it away. So yes, the tax-free savings account is not a tax deductible like an RSP. So that part of it is not deductible. It's only all the money you make. So all that money you would have made on the stocks and bonds you bought, you wouldn't pay tax on it. So people didn't know that and people didn't invest wisely. Keeping the money in an ordinary checking account in the bank, not a checking account, in a bank account that's paying 0.25% at your age is a waste of time. You shouldn't do that. You have to get proper information, get the right person and start investing in the market with that, because money made in it, that's the rule. It's not going to be taxable. So the person who knows about stocks and bonds and invest their monies in that are going to make more money. Those that kept it and they're so proud they have the tax-free savings account, you're not making much on it. But that will be your money. You'll never pay tax on it. That's the rule. It will stay the same. Now, your Rrsp, your registered, your 401k, the amount you put, that is deducted from your salary, but you pay tax on the bigger salary, so you get a refund. Now, in your case, Tehran, you need an Rrsp because you can use 25 or 30,000 towards the purchase of your home. And it's like you're giving yourself a mortgage, tax-free mortgage, both you and your wife. So there you have a $60,000 down payment. That makes a huge difference, plus whatever else you've saved. So you should have both. You know what, Carolina? I'll tell you something about that question you asked. I should read it. Sorry, let me read it because other people should get it. Carolina's question was, should couples combine their finances or figure it out separately if they both bring income? I have seen both, and the separate ones, it's never really good. It doesn't really work because it's like a house divided and it really cannot stand. The thing about it is that you guys are together. If you want the unit to grow, it has to be together. The thing though is the best person, the person that knows how to manage it should manage it. But both people should be involved in it so that if something happens, you know what's going on. But it should be, the reason why separate accounts are so popular is because everybody starts their life on their own, separate from their family, parents. They buy a house, they buy condos, they rent on their own, and then they come together. And when you start splitting it down that way, sometimes somebody's making more money. And who was it? There was a mortgage situation that I had to deal with not too long ago. And the person said, oh yeah. The person said, I have my home. The guy said, I have my house. She has a condo. But they're buying a house together. So they sold both property, but because he had a house, his asset was more than hers because of a house. He had more money. So when I heard that, I shivered. His mother is telling me he won't have a mortgage, but she will have a mortgage. And I'm going, really? And she said, yes, because his money will pay for his half of the house, but her money can't. So whatever is left in mortgage is hers. And I said, oh. And I said, is he going to pay her rent for her womb when they have a child? She didn't answer me. So this is what I mean. This is what you have. She can insist, okay, if I'm carrying this child, I'm going to have less income. I'm going to charge you for carrying the half of carrying this child. You see what I mean? And I'm sure somewhere in the world that has passed through already. Somebody has done that. So, Carolina, I can teach you guys how to do that so it works. The thing is that it must have, because there's always going to be one person that makes more money. So if you split it down the middle, somebody's going to resent. Because then you have to say, we're roommates with benefits, right? That's what it turns out to be, a roommate with benefits. So how are you going to do that? So that's why I think this can cause more problems, that it's not honest. Unless both of you are making the same amount of money, exact amount of money, and you split it down the middle, it's going to cause problems. And that person that is not making the amount of money, what are they going to do? I wouldn't go into a relationship like that. I didn't start my relationship like that. We had one checking account with both our names on it. All our checks went in there. And I made sure his RSP was done. He took his money out until he was taking out too much. So then I said, no, there's a limit. Stay within it. So he figured that out. Because he thought it was play day. There's money in the account, I can take it. No, dear. That's to pay the bills. So these are things you have to establish. So that's one of the things. I'm glad you asked that question, Carolina. It's really a hard question. And it's causing a lot of friction in families and things. But when this woman said that, I can't, you expect this person to look at you pleasantly, I would resent you. So I couldn't be in love with you anymore. I don't know. So anyway, that was a good question. I like that. Any more of those amazing questions. Even applying for a mortgage, they will do a credit check for both partners. They have to do a credit check for both partners. You are individuals. That is why RSPs are separate. Everybody owns their own RSP. That is to give you a better choice. Credit check, when that person you're tied with has bad credit, it reflects on you. You people say it doesn't, it does. I know it reflects on you. How are you going to control that person to pay that money? How are you going to get them to honor the arrangements they have made? And this is the question they will ask you. So the credit check is on both partners. If your name is going on the mortgage, if your name is going on the property, all of that. So you have to be really sure about that. There was a time that they would send you for an independent legal advice. That is how important that was. So you have to. Canada's law, just in case those of you that are new, when it comes to marriage or common law, which is acceptable, is that the law goes in this manner. Children, women, animals, and then men. That's how it is. The division of property goes that way. The children has to have the quality of life they have been accustomed to with both parents. That's what the lawyers will fight for. Then your half will come to you, your name is on it, and the man will have to pay child support and all of that. And the judge will ask you, do you have any family pets? He will have to make sure he supports that dog, and he can come and take the dog for a walk, just like he takes the children for the weekend. It just works that. It's not a law, but that's how they look at it. So you have to make sure you know what you're doing. You have to understand that. So your RSP is individual, your tax-free savings account is individual, but the common household expenses, and you should all put it together so that works better, so that one person is not giving out her womb for 9 months and raising a kid for 1.5 years, and she still has to figure out that she must put in an extra $500 when her pay has been cut by 60% or something like that. I don't know. But these are the things you have to watch for. So let me see what other questions you have. Friends have to leave. Very interesting information. Thank you, Tiggy. yeah, they do that. So let me see if any more questions you guys have that I shouldn't. I like all the hellos. The hellos takes up the whole night. So, Tiggy, okay. You guys wave at everybody. Any more questions? It looks like so Carolina, oh no, it's Pavlia that woke up at 4:30 a.m. today. Oh my goodness. I thought the class was today. Oh no. Oh no. You're so excited. It's tomorrow. No, it's already June 1st in India. That's right. 9.5 hours. So it's so nice to making an effort to show up early morning, really early. Good Lord, I think this is great practice then. It is. So you guys, go lives go. My hi dear friend, hi Donato, how are you doing? So guys, we had a great night. We're getting ready for financial seminar. It's good to be good. Debbie, Tiggy, and who was the other one? Rosie Rose. You guys, Kathleen, I sent you the email about debt card. I'm curious to know about debit card. We'll talk about debit card in full at the course. Crescent Official, I hope you come and join us tomorrow night. If you want the thing for the Zoom, the ID for the Zoom and the password, DM me. I'll send it to you. Everybody should have it. I'm in my 50s. I better get cracking. Hi, Christina. You'll do it. You will get there. Bank interest is a joke. Interest I will talk about that. One night we'll talk about interest versus capital gains. So Rrsp has changed our lives. It helped to purchase our first home. Of course it does. Rrsp, very, very, very well explained, Tessa. Thank you for answering. And we did that one too. Have friends, have to leave. Okay, Tiggy, bye. Anybody after 50? I will reach. Okay, fine. We'll do all of that. So guys, it has been a splice. We did all of the questions you wanted to ask, and I'm hoping that you guys join. Those of you who are not here yet, let me know, because it's going to be Monday to Friday. The only thing that is going to remain the same is the self-care show on Sunday morning. So I won't have I'll have morning blessings every morning, except Saturday and Sunday. So we go back to the old ways of morning blessings. And I might do something because now the garden is looking gorgeous. So I've seen rosebuds are peeping through. I'm so excited. I can't wait. So DM me or text me, or you have my phone number if you need information to join the live, to join the Zoom call. And yes, I'm Christina. That will be great. I'll see you on Zoom tomorrow. Yoko has said to everybody. So those of you who still want to join, or you know somebody who wants to join, send me the information. We still have space. We'll always have space. We'll make space for people. So have a wonderful evening, and I'm so happy that you guys are here. What did he say no way to? Very helpful experience, very well explained, Tessa. Okay, we got that. I've been there. Everybody got the answers, because I don't want you to leave here. I already feel bad that I will be missing some classes due to work, but I'll catch up on Instagram. I'm hoping to post it on Instagram, Taran. Maybe you might have to show me how to do that. But Yuko and I might figure it out, but we'll find someone. If we can't do it, we'll find somebody to help us. Maybe Carolina can tell us how to go from Zoom to Instagram. You never know. We'll figure it out. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful evening. I am so excited. And this is like Christmas Eve to me. So I want to see if I left anything else. Everybody got the email, or you got a DM, Rita. I had sent Rita. I sent a few guys some messages. That's it. I think I touched on everything I wanted to touch on. I'm so excited. So take care, everybody. See you guys. Oh, there's another question. Let me see that question. I don't want to leave a question unattended. You know, if you want to do that, that is a lot of PDF. Why don't you see? That is a lot of PDF to do, because we will, although we'll follow the book, I'm trying to make it so that it really affects you guys, and I might change it, but it's a good, just so people can understand what we're talking about. Although the slides will be showing you, for example, the most important thing is that spending plan. I will have it done. But that's a good idea, Carolina. It would be nice, but that's a lot of work. But again, you're a genius with the computer, not like me that has 20 thumbs. Anyway, so take care, guys, and I'll send me a note, Carolina, about that. I don't mind. It doesn't matter to me. I give more than I take from this world, so it doesn't matter to me. No, it's fine. If in case somebody can use it, why not? If they cannot get the book and that will help them, that's good. That is the whole idea, is to leave the world better than we found it. That's why sometimes I will do a lot more for free than, I have never charged for any of this. Never, ever. And I'm still here. And I'm still doing just great. So sometimes charging, always looking at the price, does not always give you what you want, because I have friends I can count on, like you guys. You guys are more valuable than all the money I could make. Because Ryan was one of the first people who told me of all the money I could make, but Ryan is an accountant, he thinks of it. I like money, but there are other ways. I enjoy money, there are other ways to do it. If I have this kind of knowledge and I'm charging somebody who can barely understand their finances, or they can barely make ends meet, and I'm taking money from them, you know, I would much rather go to speak and charge people for coming to see me and hear me speak, than to charge somebody to learn how to manage your finances. I would much rather you guys say, oh, Tessa-Marie, I'm going to have 500 people on Zoom, and they'll pay you to come and speak to them. That I'll charge for. But this thing here with this family of ours, and extended it like Yuko's friends and your friend Teron and this one's friend and Christina, I cannot do that. It wouldn't be good. That's why I love to pay people when they do things. Anytime somebody works, I'm willing to pay them. And you do something and you want to get paid, you do. But I am under the impression that you have to do, Donato has something, he says, jab, 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 and then you go. You give, you give, you give, you give. And then the time comes that you get it. And I really believe in that. I believe it's not all the time you must charge. Sometimes you need to just say here. Because if you are, I saw somebody that does IG, and he said, the person said, you have to make money, money. And then today, I checked his stuff, and he was saying, you make money, you're God. If you make money, you're God, you will suffer some nonsense like that, which is maybe true. Money is not your God. Money is what enables you. And sometimes you have to stop and think if it's best to charge now or to insist that we don't give a person who cannot get the book some PDF. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't sleep at night. I have so many gifts and talents, and I'm so grateful for a family like you guys and my own family, the successes of my children. That didn't come because I was mean and always charged. I think that came by the grace of the seeds that I planted by helping others, and that's what I believe. So that's why I'm doing this. I will get paid one day. I'm sure I will, but I don't think it's from you guys. So if you want to do the PDF, it's a lot of work. Knock yourself out. And those who don't have it and they want it and you can send it to them, that's okay. So guys, we have to understand sometimes we must give before we get. It's reciprocal, but so I'm giving. It will come. I know I'll make money, a lot of it. But it's not from this particular time, not now. And I'm 75, like I have another 75 years to go. But hope is eternal. So good night, folks. Talk to you guys later. Enjoy, and I hope you learn, and I'm excited for tomorrow. See you at 7 p.m. Hopefully Zoom cooperates. Bye-bye. Pray for Zoom to cooperate. Bye, guys.